Yes.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
We are live. We are live.
Hey, we made it before 6:10. I give us that. It's 6:08.
Yeah, as long as it's before 6:10, I think we're on time.
Yep. Hi, everybody. It's KT.
And Dellany.
And you're watching Fat TV.
Fat TV. Yes.
On Fat TV World, remember, everybody, you can always hashtag Fat TV. Give us a topic that you want us to talk about. On Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. You know, we definitely want to hear that. And you can actually follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and now Twitch at Fat TV World. And pretty soon, Dellany's going to start us a TikTok.
Pretty soon, but we're gonna. I want to start that soon, but I feel like, can we do some sort of social distancing meetup where you and me are together?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we can do them together.
Speaking of TikTok, I tried to play around with Instagram Reels yesterday, and I was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, it's a ripoff. It's such a freaking ripoff, right? Hey, Paul Hagen! Yay! Hey, Hamza! Hi, everybody. Actually, Hamza said he's first, but I saw Paul Hagen's comment first.
Well, that's because I put it up first. So I think I think Hamza was first. So I give him that.
Okay, so Hamza. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
wait, I haven't even done I was like sitting here not doing my social media.
That's okay. You can do that. What's up?
Did you do your social media?
Of course I didn't. So, like as usual, my laptop is freezing on me, so I'm still waiting for Facebook. But anyway, KT was mentioning IG Reels, Instagram Reels, and basically it's a ripoff of TikTok. I don't know if anybody's tried it yet, but I don't think it's fair. Like basically, I keep saying basically, that's my word today. Basically, they took TikTok and they slapped it on Instagram. And the reason why it's not fair is because even the trends that make TikTok so popular, there's trends and challenges that people love to do. Instagram's doing the TikTok trends and the TikTok challenges.
Right.
And then on top of that, all the perfect people who are considered the Instagram influencers, who are just like, they just have perfect aesthetics and they just kind of like stand there and they influence, you know. Those people, basically, because they already have a massive following, they're going to be pushed out the most on IG Reels for not doing anything. And they're not, the influencers, not a lot of them are crossing over very well into TikTok, because TikTok requires personality. Like it's not just it's not based on your looks. And it's certainly, you know, it's diverse, it's inclusive. And it's interesting because a lot of Instagram influencers are like, oh no, I have to actually do something. I have to talk, or I have to dance, or I have to show that I can play an instrument, or I have to be knowledgeable about things. So they're not crossing over so well on TikTok. So for them, I am sure they are so glad about IG Reels, because that's their way of being like, oh, we already get all the views and the likes and the whatever and the sponsorship just because they're on Instagram. So down with Instagram. But anyway, thanks everyone for joining. She's still doing the social media. If any of my family members are on here, which they never are, they rarely are.
Sometimes they are.
Somebody tell them to tell everybody, please don't call me an hour before the show or an hour during the show or an hour after the show, because my phone has been blowing up for an hour and I'm stressed out about it. But anyway, so how are you?
I'm good. I'm actually a little tired today. I'm a little tired.
Well, okay. I was in a meeting yesterday, like after 6, and you texted me, but I couldn't do it. What was going on? What were you up to? You were up to something cool.
When?
Were you on a panel or something? Like
when? Yesterday?
You texted Matt and me.
Oh yeah, no, I am. 2 of my films are on the Conscious Good Network, which one of my friends, Betsy Chassie, who's like a mentor to me, was on, and actually she interviewed me yesterday for their filmmaking spotlight part. So,
really?
Yeah. So for some reason, it's not live right now, but it's going to go back up. So when it does, I'm going to put it on Fat TV and show everybody. Tell Corianne is here. Didn't you want to tell her something?
Corinne.
Corinne.
Hey, girl. Hey, can you, I'm sure you're with my family right now. Can you tell them not to call me while I'm doing the show? Because I got so many, I love everyone, but the only time y'all are calling me are when I'm busy.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so Hollywood. I'm so busy.
Well, I was just like, I've had to tell my mom so many times to not call me during this. And, but what's funny is, oh, hey, LaDonna, yay, good to see you.
Sending you positive vibes, positive vibes. Oh my God, today, see, I'm tired.
You sound like somebody when they've been drinking a little. They start like.
No, I sound like somebody who was like had some weed, smoked some weed a while ago, and just hey, I'm going to do a show.
Well, did you smoke some weed? Did you? No. Okay.
I can't personally. I can't. It makes me too paranoid.
Well, speaking of weed, did you know that I've never smoked in my life? You know that, right?
Really?
You knew that.
I don't know. I don't think we've ever talked about it.
Oh, we haven't?
No, I don't think so.
Well, here's the deal. BuzzFeed was looking for an ex-gen person to smoke weed and like on their show. Like it's something that has to do with marijuana, but they wanted someone from each generation. So I applied for the Generation X, and they asked if I've ever smoked before, and I said no. I am a 40-something-year-old virgin in that area.
And then did they take you? Are they going to take you?
Well, no, I just submitted like 2 days ago. I don't know. Like
I would love to. I think that would be really funny if all right, BuzzFeed, everybody go over to BuzzFeed and tell them to pick Dellany, because I want to see that. I want to see
because I figured, you know what, KT, I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna smoke weed for the first time, I might as well do it in front of a bunch of people, because let everyone see how I'm going to probably make a fool of myself. So yeah. Okay, I'm still sharing our stuff, so keep talking.
Oh, okay. Well, what else do we want to talk about today? We have a lot of topics today, but I do want to talk about, like, let's go into like something like just what we always like to talk about is what you're watching, because I was like, oh my God, I've got to tell her what I've been watching.
What have you been watching?
Two things. For some reason, I never have watched the John Wick film series. And I know, I'm like, why have I not watched this? I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. I mean, because I guess what I've told everybody is, like, when you're in filmmaking, you kind of tend not to, like, you know, watch a lot of films sometimes, you know? So,
okay. Right.
But anyway, all I have to say is, why did they have to kill the dog? Because, I mean, basically that does the whole season, you know? I mean, the whole series. But yeah. I seriously, like, I was like, oh my God, I love this. And then whenever they brought Lawrence Fishburne in for 2 and 3, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in. The rest I'm in forever.
There's 4 now, right? Or 5?
No, there's 3, and they're doing 4 and 5 back to back.
Oh, okay. It's like, so I don't think I know I saw the first one, but is there a dog? Is it the same dog in every one, or is there?
No. You know, they have the little one that his wife gave him at the beginning that spawns the whole revenge and him coming back to being an assassin.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. Angelica Houston was in like number 3. Like, there's so many like cool people in it. I love Angelica Houston, just so you know.
That's good. Well, I know.
I was just like by 3, when I was watching 3, I was like, oh, I gotta watch this again. This again. So I bought them all on iTunes. Because I'm going to watch the whole series again.
This is such a coincidence, because this morning I did like a live on one of the platforms, and Corinne was asking me who Keanu Reeves was. And I totally brought up John Wick. I was like, John Wick with the puppy. Yes. It's all, yes. So,
yeah. So I'm hooked, line and sinker. And another thing, that's my movie, my TV. And this is what I was thinking was funny, is like, I've gone to RuPaul's Drag Race parties. I know a lot of drag queens, but I've never actually sat down and watched it back. I've seen a couple of episodes, but for some reason I was like, because there's nothing to watch anymore, you know? So I was like, oh, cool. Hulu has the first 6 seasons on demand. I'll start watching them. Yeah, I'm hooked. So I'm like working in the background. The RuPaul Drag Race is going on, and I'm like, oh yeah, bitches, we're getting it on.
That's awesome.
Like, you can tell. Like I'm so, it's like you could tell, like, because I mean, RuPaul has done a good job of furthering that agenda and that world, and you could tell, like, from the first season to like season 5, like how much money they had to actually do it, and I can't remember what season that VH1 took over, and now he's like a multi-million-dollar like brand with like 3 or 4 different shows to his name. He's winning Emmys, and I was like, dang.
I'm telling you, that reminds me, I saw something from like Tyler Perry today on Twitter, and he was saying, and this goes to like with RuPaul as well, but the more things that you do where you own it, the better. The more it's just everything you do, if you can, and it's going to take a long time, as we know, that's what you and I are doing. Own it. Own your intellectual property.
Right.
And because you can then make your content that you want, that makes you happy and with your agenda, and it's not twisted, busted Hollywood.
Correct.
KT, I'm at the point that Hollywood needs to crash and burn.
I know.
It really does.
But
I literally mean that.
I know. Well, it is. I mean, because, people are failing left and right now. They are failing left and right. Studios are not out. We're not going to see big films coming out like they used to, I'm going to say this. I watched, what's the new Tom Hanks on iTunes?
I don't even know. I'm not up on anything.
I think it's Is it Greyhound? I think it's Greyhound. So
Greyhound?
It's a Tom Hanks movie. Who doesn't love Tom Hanks? But for the amount of money, I was disappointed. For the amount of money, you know what I mean? I was kind of disappointed. I was like expecting a little bit more action. And I just felt like it was just not, I don't know. I was just like, I was disappointed, Well,
I know that sometimes, and I do know this, if I have casting directors who are watching our stuff, because sometimes I can see them, So if you're a casting director watching this and you're watching and hearing what KT and I are saying, you can help us not be so upset with Hollywood. So it's in your hands, and you can cast right here, and you can help KT get director jobs.
Yes, and you can help us get season 2 of She's Too Fat put out there,
Absolutely. Yeah. What was I? Oh yeah. So what I'm watching, because I'm not watching a lot because I'm so busy.
I'm busy. I watch it I have to have something going on all the time. I can't sit in silence.
Feel you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm watching 2 shows right now. Like, I'm getting caught up on a show called Damages with Glenn Close from like 10 years ago.
Oh, I loved that. I watched every one of it. Yep.
Okay. Oh my God. Some of the plots are so cheesy, but just for her acting, Glenn Close, her acting, it's like.
It's Glenn Close. Come on.
It's like saying
Meryl Streep, Glenn Close.
Like, there's sometimes when she doesn't say a word, like they don't give her dialogue when other people are talking to her, and she's just looking, and you know what she's thinking, and it's like, oh, Glenn Close, she's so good. So I'm in season 3. Like I said, some of these episodes and seasons are cheesy, you guys, and they're very cliche. But also it was 10 years ago. So I think it was more cliche 10 years ago. But I'm also watching, KT, have you watched Fleabag?
Yeah.
Well, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Do you know that she is the executive producer and co-creator of Killing Eve? She did the first season. She was the showrunner of the first season.
Way.
Yeah, that's why it's so good. That's why it's so good. Yes.
She's great. You mean the actress or the...
No, the actress and creator of Fleabag. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
See? What are we talking about? Intellectual property, right? That's hers,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
That's hers.
I think yes. I don't know if she was hired to develop Killing Eve. I haven't got, but I know that she was the showrunner and the executive producer that year. I think since then it's been a different woman each year.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's no, as it should be.
Correct.
So, do you want to get into some topics?
Well, first I'm going to do two things. Jess, I saw you, babe. Hi, and Samuel just came up. I saw him too, and I was going to tell you. So on the RuPaul Drag Race, this is why I like it so much. At the end of the show, he goes, "If you don't love yourself, then how do you expect anybody else to love you?" Or something along that line.
Boom.
And I'm like, oh, that's so great. That's great for me. And so if anybody has any complaints, because I know over the years there's been complaints about kids watching that, and thinking that, because it is a mature show. But I'm sorry, but a lot of stuff that comes out of his/her, depending on what he's in, what they're in, because he likes to be called him as when he's in men's clothing and her when he's in women's.
Okay.
So, but anything that comes out of his mouth or their mouth or however you want to say that is positive. You know what I mean? Like even whenever like some of the contestants really get down on themselves, they say, they talk about like, because we do it too here in Hollywood and LA, we build our own family, out here. Yeah. And it's true in the gay community where families are built because a lot of them are like thrown out of the house, that kind of stuff. So I think it's actually so for anybody who has any kind of negativity to say about it, because I haven't really spoke out about that because I haven't really watched it that much, knowing that it's probably positive, and don't listen to the conservative side. But I was like, you should definitely, it's got a lot of positive sayings. That's, and a lot of like, hey, you need to have confidence in yourself,
Right.
So anyway, that's why I started. I went once he was once they were saying stuff like that on there. I was just like, I'm in.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm glad to hear it.
And guys, comment what you guys think about everything that we're watching. I mean, I know. Is it Corian? How do you say your name?
Corinne.
Was talking about Lucifer. Paul Hagen was talking about the Umbrella Academy too. Ooh, and I really want to see that, but I haven't gotten
Umbrella Academy. Yeah, I heard that was a very excellent series. I think I finished Pose. I don't know if we ever talked about Pose, but I thought Pose was amazing.
I haven't watched that yet because I didn't have FX.
Pose, it's on Netflix now.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm gonna watch it.
So good. And Billy Porter. Oh my gosh,
dude! I've loved Billy Porter since I saw him in that SUV episode. Do you remember when Billy Porter?
I think Billy Porter. I don't know how I knew of Billy Porter, but it probably had something to do with theater and you know what I mean. Like, but no, Pose. Like, I hope they do more seasons. I don't know if they will, but it changed my life, and it's also a topic that, a lot of America probably doesn't want to know about or talk about, but they should because it's America. But it's like what you're saying about RuPaul. I mean, this is underground ballrooms that transgender and the LGBTQ, they put these on, and it's a community, and they have houses. And like there's mothers and there's fathers who adopt people right off the streets who got kicked out of their homes, like what you were just talking about, KT. And they get adopted. They're called children. Even though they're like grown adults. But they're adopted into these houses, and then the houses put on like a theme in these ballroom competitions. It's amazing. It's so interesting. So what's the subject? What are we gonna do?
Oh yeah. Let's go into. Why don't you talk about Demetria Brown?
Oh, okay. So I don't know if anybody heard about that.
I think it's more about. To me, when I was reading the article, it's more about people of color leaving the United States.
Well, exactly. So yeah, it's not so much. I mean, I found out about like maybe more this topic because of her, but African Americans are doing that. and Black people are doing that. Right here it says, sorry, I'm looking at, she was actually a detention officer, and she was detention officer for the LA County Probation Department. And in the middle of this pandemic, in the middle of it, when George Floyd was murdered, she sold her house. She stuffed all her belongings into 13 duffel bags, and then she relocated to Mexico. And she does not regret that choice. She does not regret it. And she said that she doesn't fear for her life anymore, and that she's not threatened by anybody there. She is accepted, and she couldn't be happier. And she can sleep at night.
Now, I do want to just say that she's in a tourist part of Mexico. I just want to put that out there. Because there are parts of Mexico I wouldn't put anybody in, not even my dog. You know?
Right. Well, but don't you think that it's more about like, no matter where you are in Mexico, like, I don't know Mexico, but the racism isn't like what the racism is here.
No, yeah. Ours is like, it's media made, it's corporate made, it's actually just detrimental to anybody's mental health. It's stupid. You know, in a nutshell, it's stupid. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So apparently African Americans and Black people, because I do say that because there is a difference, but they have been leaving the states for years now, you guys. But there has definitely been an uptick since George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, just basically in this pandemic. They're like, we're getting out of here. Like and you know what? We did this. We, meaning white people, we did this. Like, we need to fix it. So I don't blame them. And they're calling their exit from America, they're calling it Blacksit.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny. You know?
I love it. I was like, only they are so awesome, because Black culture in general, they're so cool. They're so freaking cool. And only they can make an exit from America sound really awesome.
Well, you know what's really funny? I was reading something the other day, because they were talking about TikTok, and they were talking about Black culture. And like, if you really think about, like, a lot of the underground stuff that became cool came from Black culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's like, I can't remember the names of the two boys that I freaking love right now, because I found them when they did their first listen of Jolene. They're brothers. You know, they're brothers that do first listen. So I watched them when they found out Dolly Parton. And I was like, oh, this is so great, because they're so genuine and so cute. And then I watched the one where they listened to Phil Collins in the Air Tonight. And then recently they just did Nina Simone. So
what
I like about them is that they're bringing back like old, beautiful, you know, songs and songwriters and artists, you know, bringing them back to the forefront.
Right.
Even though Dolly doesn't need any help.
And also they're listening to artists where, like, I also like they're not like dragging these artists through the mud, because it's like Phil Collins and Dolly Parton. Lord help me that anybody would do that, right?
Right.
So, but if anybody has not seen those videos, they're so great. I did see the Jolene one. The Phil Collins, I was just waiting. I was waiting for the air drums moment. Like, their reaction was just, it was gold. It was gold. So y'all should definitely check out these guys. I didn't know we were going to talk about them, so I don't know their names. But
right now I can't remember their names. But speaking of pop culture, let's go into.
Oh, let's talk about this. Yes.
This is a topic I would love to talk about, because not even saying I love Megan Thee Stallion. I love her.
Are we gonna show the video?
No, I don't have it up. Every time, just so you know, the reason why I'm not showing the video is because every time we put a video on, sometimes we get tagged. Like, we get muted when we have the video on. So, but I mean,
should we reenact it? I'll be Megan Thee Stallion, you be Cardi B.
Oh, you got it. No, I'm not gonna do. No, you're Cardi B. I'm Megan Thee Stallion. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. So you guys, let's talk about WAP. I'm so excited about this. Let's talk about it.
Well, number one, let me just tell you, because I am a huge Madonna Foxy Brown, Missy Elliott, Little Kim.
Right.
I could keep it. Cher, everybody who's come before them that has strutted their stuff out there. I'm like, go for it, ladies. Because you know why? I've worked in the hip hop realm as a filmmaker, and I can't stand what the male rappers do with women on camera, off camera, rapping, everything in their music. So I think this is a great video of turning the tables on those boys.
Well, I do too. And I love, like, I mean, you guys, it's so, like, the words they're using in the song, like, I got education. I was like, macaroni in a pot? Like, I'll never see macaroni in a pot the same again. I'm going to be like, does anybody want some macaroni in a pot tonight? And I can't ever not unsee what I'm seeing in my mind. So, I
know.
Right? And bottom feed, oh my gosh. Like,
well, we can't let your mama see the video. We can't let mama see it.
Well, never. So, but it's been very controversial, as y'all know. They've been getting shamed. Women have been getting shamed.
Of course. And women of color on top of it have been getting shamed.
Women of color.
Oh my God. You know?
Yeah, totally. But there was one guy, he's such a tool. Hold on, what's his name? It's I sent it to you on the email. Let's see.
Ben Sharpo. Or
that
Shapiro.
guy.
Yes.
That guy.
Oh, this Ben is a guy who told out his lifestyle growing up, who grew up and his mom was a TV executive in Hollywood, and then he comes back and now he's like against Hollywood and saying that it's too liberal and blah blah blah. I'm like, you went to school on the dime.
And he's also benefiting from the Hollywood benefits of nepotism. How did he get his job?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, don't get me started. But this song by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion has put a bee in Ben Shapiro's bonnet. Okay, like have you seen him? Like, actually, he said the lyrics, you guys. He said the lyrics on his show, and to hear this conservative white man say those lyrics in the way he said them, I am just like, oh my gosh. And instead of, does everybody know what WAP means? I can't say it, but I'm assuming everybody knows what it is. But he keeps saying wet ass P word. Like, when you listen to him do the lyrics, he keeps going, wet ass P word, wet ass P word. It's so funny.
Who I would love to hear talk about it? Howard Stern. I would love to hear his take on the video. I don't know.
Why?
Because I just want to hear what he has to say. I don't know. I like listening to his craziness sometimes.
I don't know. I wonder, like, I don't know. I don't have to. He's gross. I have never cared for him. He's just.
I didn't say I cared for him. I just like to hear some of his stuff sometimes when he talks about.
Well, I mean, that's like saying you want to hear Donald Trump's opinion on it. Do we really want?
I want to hear everybody's opinion on it. I love hearing everybody's opinion because I love laughing.
Well, my mouth dropped to the floor when I saw that video, but good for them.
And it didn't apparently, because I've seen there is like more stuff out there than that video. No offense. The only thing that I didn't like, the only criticism I have is why did they have to put Kylie Jenner in?
Kylie Jenner. Like, what's that? I mean. And she did it's what she represented too. She's a white woman, and of course, I mean, Cardi B had the right to.
She's her dad was oh my God, it
doesn't no.
Yeah,
no.
Armenian. Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Middle Eastern.
Kylie Jenner. She's a white woman.
Oh wait, no, her dad wasn't. Because her dad, it was Bruce Jenner. Sorry.
Yeah.
Take that back.
So she's a really white woman.
Rolling it back. I am losing my mind.
So she's a white woman. She's a white woman.
Yes, she is.
And Cardi B said, like, oh, not everything's about race. She's deleted that tweet because I think she understands that everything's about race. But Kylie Jenner, like she did the least in the video. She walks down a hallway, but that someone pointed out that's a metaphor of white women doing the least, on the shoulders of black women, because she opens the door and then you see all these talented black women doing their thing. You know what I mean? Like all she did was walk down the hallway.
That's what it is. Maybe it is a metaphor. Maybe it was meant to be like that.
I mean, I think we're giving that too much credit. Like, okay. So I have a little bit of criticism too, and I know everyone's going to drag me for this, but my criticism is that I cannot stand animal cruelty or animal exploitation, and the wild exotic animals. Even Carol Baskin got involved in this.
I know she did.
So, because the thing is that even though they weren't physically there, they were still like they were in front of a green screen. I mean, I agree that I think it's problematic. These tigers, like in these music videos, and it's because it's the profit that the tiger owners are getting, and when they have no use for the tigers anymore, they get rid of those tigers. Like these tigers don't live great lives, and so I feel like the exploitation is, but I know I probably sound like a Karen, so I don't know. But that's honestly, other than that, I loved it. Carol Baskin ruins everything. Well, Cardi B was like, I'm not even going to respond to that. She killed her husband.
I know she did. And fed it to the tiger. You know what's funny is that we are over time. We were supposed to be done.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Well, you just have your, it's because you took your headphones off.
You're right. Yeah. This one's clearly not working. Okay.
That one clear. Yes. Okay. but now you need to bring that up, or because that was your microphone earphone. That was your microphone earphone.
Oh.
You are too much. Anyway, what I just said is like we're over time. We're only supposed to be doing 30 minutes so we can put this out on public access TV too. But before we leave, we do want to talk about that something important, and not because it's a political thing. I want to talk about this because we're tearing down a black woman again.
I know, we are. Yes. Kamala.
Okay. All I have to say is, you want to talk about people's right to be president or vice president of the United States, then I think it should be the first people who were in here. I mean, the first person who was in America or whatever it was called back then. That would be Native Americans. America. That would be Native. All presidents should be Native Americans. If you want to go on about what they're ripping her for right now.
Yeah. Well, no, they're trying to bring up the birther. The birther thing has not gone away. And it's like, are you kidding me? She was born in Oakland. And you know what? At this point, I don't even care.
Right.
What I can't stand is there's critics saying that she doesn't have the experience. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't ever want to hear anyone. I don't want to ever hear anyone say that any of these skilled, brilliant women who, yes, while they are, they are flawed, don't ever say they don't have enough experience, because who is sitting in office right now with the least experience of all?
Well, I was watching Becoming, because I love watching. I watch both sides. I've watched documentaries on both sides. I've watched Reagan, all the Bush documentaries. I love watching political documentaries. And I watched Michelle Obama's Becoming. And the one thing that she said was, she's like, and it's been quoted over and over, is like, I've been in castles, I've been in, I met the Queen, I've been at the table with some of the biggest heads of states everywhere. Yeah. And she's like, some of them don't even know how they got here. You know what I mean? And that's what you really think about it. Like, nobody really knows what they're doing. It's all a guessing game.
Yeah, but women, and especially women of color, we always have to know how to do everybody's job in that room in order to even be considered to be in that room. Correct. So, are we getting any comments about Kamala right now? Like, is there anybody sharing?
No.
So,
No,
and I will, I think most everybody who's on here, y'all know me to be very, very to the left, progressive. I was always for Bernie. I do find Kamala and Biden ticket. That's very centrist to me. But even I know to sit my butt down and keep my mouth shut because I am not going to drag a woman of color. We are not going to do that anymore. No more. So people, especially white people, like think about your words, like the criticism that you would have for a woman of color who's going to be in one of the highest positions politically, like really reconsider that because the standards that she has had to be held to compared to white men. Like, let's just simmer it down. And she is excellent in what she does, and I'm not sitting here like thinking she's perfect. I'm not happy with some of her past, but I do know that she has officially signed on with a lot of things that line up with what I loved about Bernie Sanders or do love about Bernie Sanders. So we just, especially as white people, we need to like just not criticize women of color.
Right.
Especially right now, Yeah,
I mean, that's where I say, whatever line your political divide is, whatever you come down on, if you don't vote, you can't say anything about it. You know what I mean? And my thing is like,
period.
Here's people, there's standards. And the stuff that they say about women, the stuff they said about Hillary, about women in the past who've ran for office, Elizabeth Warren, last year, is obscenely absurd compared to what they say about the men. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, oh, well, like, I mean, you have a man in office, if you like him or not, I don't care. But you have a man in office who is on file degrading women. You know what I mean? And that's, I'm just like, and it's okay for us. To me, that's just what makes me mad. I mean, I'm just like, whatever, and then you say that all these women can't do the job and you make up rumors and stories about them and some of their past you might not agree with. Yeah. But you know what? You need to get behind, people need to get behind somebody because if you want any kind of change, you have to get behind somebody. You either need to be, marching on the streets, you need to be doing something.
And those of us who are more grassroots and we have our grassroots organizations, it goes without saying, we've taken a hit. We've taken a massive hit because of the pandemic. We can't be out in the streets like we used to. Right. We can't be making those differences that we were making 4 years ago around this time. So there are some things that we have got to, we don't have to like it, but we do need to align. And these times are different. I mean, this is not a good time for grassroots organizations as far as political. You know what I mean? Right. But I'm just saying, I won't hear anybody talking about Kamala. No, as far as criticism, in terms of like her being able to do that freaking job.
It's the same kind of political criticism that you would give the man. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, the stuff that people come at her about is, like, absolutely ridiculous. And the memes that people are putting out about, like, oh, she's, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's ridiculous. And what makes me even madder, like, is, like, why do they constantly, any woman of power, why do you have to go about what they're freaking wearing? Who cares?
I know.
Like, who cares? What you want to be put in a suit and a tie? Are you gonna no? Then they're gonna talk about that too. Anyway,
it makes me think that whole what you're wearing and the importance that was put on it. KT, I mean, may she rest in peace, but I do not miss Joan Rivers because Joan Rivers was toxic. She was toxic.
I refuse to watch her because of the way she tore down everybody.
Women, mainly women. She's awful. And I know that she had her own walls that she broke through and her own glass ceilings. And I admire the hell out of that stuff. But she was awful for this part of the whole, what are you wearing? Like, it actually did set women back, you know? Definitely. But I'm glad we're back to, we're back on track and we're not going to, they better not be asking her those dumb questions. Who are you wearing? Who's your hairstylist and all that mess? Oh my God.
I don't need her. Yeah. I don't need her spending money on designer clothes. I need her getting in there and doing policy. You know what I mean? Any woman, any woman on the left, the right, wherever you're standing, they need to be. I don't care. They don't need to be getting asked stupid questions about what they're wearing ever again. That's stupid. Done. No. Out the door.
I want to know why we still pay a luxury tax, or why we pay period. Okay, yeah, KTEE or KT. Why do we have luxury tax, and why do we pay period for period stuff? Period. Like, oh my God. Like, how much money do you think you spent since you started your period on feminine hygiene stuff?
A lot.
And cramp medicine.
I could have bought a house. I could have bought a house.
Girl, preach. Yeah, no, I have, obviously I can't say too much, but I recently got a great idea, and it has to do with like birth control. And just so you know, there's an idea in my head for a really cool movie, and it's a horror movie. It's a horror movie, and it has to do with birth control. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. All righty. I guess we're going to be filming that soon too.
We could.
Yeah. We're trying to film another short film besides She's Too Fat, just so you guys know it's a horror film.
Yes.
Our partner in crime, Matt has
Matt.
Yeah.
I haven't seen too much of him. I haven't seen too much of him lately. Does he even visit us anymore on here?
He got, you know what? He got that award, or he got some prestige.
I know. Like, what? Matt thinks he's too good for us now.
He's gone.
Matt got that. I know. Official selection. Official.
Well, we're award winning, so blah, blah, blah. Anyway, tell everybody how they can find us.
Okay, so you can find us on Fat TV World. We are here, as you can see. We're also on Instagram. We are on Twitter. Twitch. We're now on Twitch, which is really cool. We're also on YouTube. So please give us hype all around. We would really appreciate the support
and
the
hype.
With
your friends, because we love your friends, and we love you.
Yes. And then I personally mainly live on TikTok now. I'm not going to lie. So if you guys want to interact with me, I'm mainly on TikTok.
And I am everywhere. So it's at KT Online. And you can see right there's Dellany's TikTok, and there's my moniker on everything. I try to keep it all. I'm a brand person.
Yeah.
So
she's better than me on that. I change mine every 30 days. Like at the end of August, it'll say Dellany Peace Actress. I get to change it every 30 days.
She's a weirdo, and that's why we love her. But anyway, guys, we'll see you next week. And make sure, let us know, #FatTV, and give us anything that you want us to talk about on next week's show.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
Love y'all and appreciate y'all.